most favorite International Dream Team. It's Brit Johanna Drageset and Tineke Hakvoort, and we are doing this Facebook Live for the Best Life Creation Society. And well, we love it every Friday. Do we, Brit?
Of course, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And we so love to have you here. From all over the globe. Isn't that fun? From Australia and Asia and Africa and Europe and North and South America. It is beautiful to have you all here and, to share and grow and expand together. So today we will expand on a beautiful quote. Let's hear it. Hear
Yes,
it.
all right.
Yes.
Whenever you know what you don't want, you know more clearly what you do want. And I'll read it again.
Yes.
Whenever you know what you don't want, you know more clearly what you do want.
Mm. Oh, so
Really?
true.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
think so. Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah, that is a beautiful
It
question.
may not seem that
Yeah.
way always.
Yeah. And so let's ask our viewers, do they agree? Do
Yeah,
you
let's
agree?
find out.
When you hear this quote, do you agree with what Brit just read? Maybe, maybe not. That's interesting. Wow. Well, oh, there are beautiful. I see Jen is here and Dave is here. Welcome, welcome. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe I'll say a little bit about
Yeah.
why I question that, because
Yeah.
so many people, they are very focused on what they don't want, and they're not even I used to more be that way. Now I'm more aware,
Mm-hmm.
but it's something to be aware of, that it's so easy to say what we don't want
Yeah.
about the weather, or about the food, or about our health, or about our weight, whatever. I really
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like or feel good about that, or I don't want this and don't like that. And then, if I remember one time, there was a young woman who was saying something, and I said it back to her, turned it into something positive, like the positive, what
Right.
she would have wanted. Yeah, that's what I said. She said, no, that's not what you said. And that
Mm-hmm.
was such a big aha for her. And it's so interesting if we start noticing, how do people say things.
So
Call on
true.
children. Don't do that. Don't run in the corridor.
Yes.
There are so many examples, and it's automatic.
Yeah.
And when we start asking people what they want, it's
Mm-hmm.
very often, well, I really don't want blah 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 blah. So it takes a while for consciously to know what we want. That's what I mean with this question,
Right.
to be able to turn it.
Yes. And that's so true. And I love this example that you say, don't run in the corridor, right? To children. But they're confused. What should they do? Yeah, they don't, they know they can't run in the corridor, but, they really don't know what they can do or what
Right,
you want them to do.
right.
And it's so much easier when you tell them, yeah, this is what I like you to do.
Yeah.
Um,
Remember to
oh,
walk in the corridor.
yes,
I
or
mean,
something like that.
something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Oh,
Dave
here's a good one,
says,
Dave.
oh,
Yeah.
Dave
Go
says,
ahead.
oh, he totally agrees. Life is a buffet of sitting and sorting through our desires. But when we realize we are the ones choosing, just like a buffet, we tend to take the things we like and enjoy. we aren't required to suffer or tolerate anything that doesn't feel good. Coleslaw is like that for me. Oh,
And I love
you're
coleslaw.
yeah, you're
Right?
hilarious, Dave. That is so funny.
Yeah.
And it's so true because when you that's a beautiful, beautiful example. When you go to a buffet and you can pick whatever you want, you're not going to pick what you don't want.
Or to go around and say, I don't like that, I don't like
Yeah,
that, I don't like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's
will
a
just
great example.
focus
Yeah.
on the things you do love. Or maybe you're trying something because you don't know it yet, and then you find out, yeah, this is what I like. Or you think, no, that's not what I like.
Yeah.
So, what's very interesting, Brit, and maybe our viewers notice this as well. When you are explaining about this is what I don't want, or the examples, we could hear something in your voice. It was like a little bit down, a little bit a down feeling, and a little bit like, well, sad isn't the right word, but it wasn't really uplifting,
Right.
you know? And that is also, when you find yourself in a place that you say, oh, this is what I don't want, most of the time our feelings also drop,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they do. And
And when you tell yourself, oh, this is what I like, that creates feelings of happiness.
yeah. There was a quote by, or
Yes,
not a quote by,
Jen,
something that Jen said. Could you put that back
yeah,
up,
she
please?
said yes. And when
Yeah.
it comes to children, it's so important to help them feel their way through it, not just follow rules or orders. Kids are so bright.
Very true. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and I see Janetta is here. Hi, Janetta. Awesome. And
Yeah.
um, and also, well, there is a beautiful quote. You can't see it yet, Brit, but I can see it on
Okay.
another screen. It's from
Okay.
Dave. He says,
All right.
and I don't need to boycott or push anything I don't like. I just put my focus somewhere else. I'm that free. Coleslaw too.
Fantastic, Dave. I like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. And
Yeah.
isn't it fun to have this Facebook Live together with all our beautiful viewers? It's so
Yeah.
funny.
But I'm thinking, like, if I really don't, let's say I don't like rain,
Yeah.
but I have to be outside sometimes in the rain.
Yes.
So, and then like Dave said here, the important thing is we have a choice what we want to focus on. Do
Yeah.
I want to focus on that it's raining, or I'm just plugging in my battery charger here, or
Yes.
do I, because that doesn't make me feel very good to focus on that. Like you said, it creates emotions that don't feel good.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So I do have a choice. So how can we then change? Okay, we can think about something totally different,
Right.
about what the next nice meal is going to be, or our good friends and how much fun we have together. Could be anything.
So true.
So that's like the trick is to just focus on something else, and that means also to allow ourselves to let go of the negatives. It's like we don't have to hold on to that, but it takes a little bit of practice to let things go and to switch the focus.
Yes. It's like a muscle to train. And Brit, that reminds me of the beautiful class Jen Kazmierczak and Dave Brisnahan are well, are doing right now. Every Saturday, you still can sign up. It's about segment intending, getting ahead of it. And that is like when, because there are always things that we don't like, right? Um, but when we are in the flow, or when we make a choice, this is what I want to feel, that helps us to move forward, and it helps us to deal with things we don't like so much easier.
Yeah, so the trick is to feel good ahead of time.
Yeah. And
Uh,
yes, Dave said it's about acknowledging in brief what we feel, and then allowing ourselves to gently flow forward.
yeah, if we feel, you mean if we feel something negative, that's how we can switch, how we
Yeah.
can refocus. Yeah,
Yes.
very good.
And Jen said before, we always have a choice. Focus on what feels better to you.
Yeah, that's so different. Each of us have very different things that make us feel good. Like I feel good eating coleslaw, but Dave doesn't.
Nah.
So,
Yeah.
so there. Yeah, no, not to be silly, but being a little silly
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And, actually, that is something to deal with it as well. To
yeah,
make a little bit fun of it.
yeah.
So true.
Oh, and thank you for the link to that class, getting
Mm-hmm.
out ahead of it.
Yeah.
That's up there now.
But also, what, because sometimes well, in my life, there are, I experience sometimes something I don't like at all. And, to take a moment to reflect on it. Is this what I want? No. What is it what I do want? Then it creates so much clarity. And that's also what this quote is about, right?
Right.
That you really acknowledge, okay, this is what I don't want. No, I don't want this feeling. I don't want a situation like this. Or, so what is it I do want? And to make a choice to allow that commit to come in, right?
Yeah. It's okay
Yeah.
to feel good, to allow ourselves to feel good
Oh,
too. That's a
yes.
part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, it's not a big deal if you don't feel good sometimes, because you can always make a choice. Well, do I want this? Or do I want to flow in another feeling? That's what I
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh, Jen says, for me, I also like to ask myself, what am I under the influence of? The problem or the solution?
Yeah. That's a great question.
Mm-mm.
Where is my focus?
Yes.
Because it's like they vibrate on different, they have different vibrations. And the problem vibration, if we stay there, get, we cannot get the solution because that has a
Mm-hmm.
different vibration. So we have to somehow release or let go of the problem, refocus, and find ways to feel better. And then we vibrate in alignment with the solution, and that can come in.
Oh, so true.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Dave. I asked if you meant negative emotion. I mean any emotion, he says. When you feel contrast, acknowledge it in brief and then flow forward with what would
Mm-hmm.
feel a bit better. And it, if you do feel good, acknowledge that in brief too and enjoy it and allow it to expand. Excellent. It will, but not by focusing on how do I expand. Is there a continuation of the?
All
No.
perfect, really. It's how do I expand this? Dot, dot, dot.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
perfect, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Very
then
good.
loads of hearts, a beautiful sun, and a smiley face.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
so
that's an
wonderful.
important point actually, because it's not always when we feel a negative or low emotion that we can turn and feel better. We can always feel a little bit better if we want to. Even
Yeah.
though we feel really good, we can feel even better. So that's a good point, babe.
And so also, yeah, sometimes we want to feel better, but we are in, well, a kind of depressive state or mood.
Mhm.
To expect from yourself that you shift, well, in a second to a very exciting emotion, that could be a stretch. It's possible, it's doable, of course, but um, maybe it's also nice to just flow into just a little better feeling, and from there, in a little bit better.
Right.
And it's good that you know that you don't like the depressive state, but you do prefer the exciting state of mind. You
But
know,
that may create resistance actually if we're trying to get to take such a big step.
yeah,
So like you say, it's good to have the tiny steps
yeah,
and be
and
patient with ourselves.
yeah, and that will soothe your energy. That will help you to flow. And remember, we had, well, a few weeks ago, we had a beautiful quote. What was it? Instead of row, let's flow, or something. Um, Something
Yeah,
like that. But it's
I
like,
forget.
yeah, flow into that better feeling space.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And Jen
Here's
says,
Jen.
really resisting the contrast, trying to make ourselves like something we don't like, never feels good, and it creates further contrast. Very true.
Yes. And that is actually when we stay in that feeling that we don't want something, that creates resistance, right? I don't want
Yeah.
this. I don't want this. No, I don't want this. Oh, I don't want this. How many times did I tell the universe I don't want this? And it still pops up.
Yeah. Of course it does. Yeah.
But I don't want it. Right?
Okay. So the
Yeah.
trick is refocus or word, put into words or thoughts what you do want.
Yes.
It's
And
it's that's also, it takes a little bit of practice to
yeah.
turn to be first to become aware that we are
Hmm.
using the negatives, and then to find to really put into be conscious of also what we want, even though subconsciously we've already created it somehow, but then
Yes.
to
That
practice
is
using
true.
practice using the positive statements instead
Hmm.
of first saying the negative ones. We can write eventually we can come around to using the positive ones right away.
Yes, and also what I find, Brit, is that when we use the positive, well, when we use a negative, it's more like a kind of victim energy, maybe.
Yeah.
But when we use a positive, it's like, oh, the alignment and the connection with source and feeling grounded and open to receive and open to allow.
Yeah.
And Dave said, I found that we don't really need to push on anything. And exactly, Brit, pushing, exactly,
Actually,
Brit,
Brit.
Oh,
Pushing creates resistance.
yeah. Oh, I love English. I love a second language.
And
Yes.
here we are, both of us, not
Yeah.
English speaking people.
Mm-hmm.
First language, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of the quote: we are in
Yeah.
a beautiful creative journey, and by allowing it to unfold, we can always flow forward. So true.
Yeah. Oh, so awesome. And Jen says, acknowledging that we don't prefer something like coleslaw. I love it. And then flowing forward to something we do like is so freeing. All is good. And that is the freeing, what I also mentioned about when you're in this place of this is what I don't want, that feels like a victim. But when you step in the powerful place to say, this is what I do want, and yes, that is freeing. Oh, that is,
Absolutely.
yeah, wonderful.
I'll read the quote one more time, just in
Yes.
case someone is here
Yeah.
wondering what we're talking about. Whenever you know what you don't want, you know more clearly what you do want. That's it.
And actually, it's very beautiful, Brit, because um, people can see it under our, in our video screen.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Very good.
That is actually very nice because before, remember, I don't know when the new program started of Be Life, but before they didn't have it, and now this is what we love, that people can read the quotes in the titles below. So,
That's great. It's just that I don't see
yes.
it on my phone.
Yeah.
I don't know all of this.
Yeah.
Very good. Progress.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Expansion. Yeah.
Yes. Well, here is Dave again. Awesome, Dave. And oh, thank you all so much for sharing your thoughts and your comments because that helps us to expand even more. Dave says we live in a law of attraction universe, not a law of assertion universe. Whatever we put our attention and focus on, we get more of it. More of.
So that's a very good reason to focus on what we want,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Oh, and Jen says, yes, we are so free. We have control of our focus always. Oh, I
Very
love
good.
it. Yes. This is so
Yeah.
fun, Brit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is so beautiful, to share this quote with the world, with all of you, and to have fun together.
And to get all the feedback and all the input and
Oh,
all the reflections.
yes.
It's wonderful.
Always. That's always wonderful. So, do you have some last thoughts or comments you want to share?
Just to, as much as we can, we remember to focus
Mm-hmm.
on what we want, because that brings it closer.
Yes.
Yeah. Or staying
Yes.
in good vibrations
Yeah.
bring. But again, this to not to worry about
Mm-hmm.
when we don't feel good, because that's part of life. We have
Yes.
this whole spectrum of emotions and their hours, and
Mm-hmm.
just let's own them. But like
Yes.
Dave said, mentioned, like I said earlier, or what's it, Jen? Briefly acknowledge it. We
It
don't
was
need to
Dave.
stay. Yeah, we don't need to stay there and is the word wallow? Like dig deeper into the
Yes.
whatever it is. But okay, that's yeah. I really feel that way, and then now I choose to refocus.
Yes. Yes. Oh, it is amazing. And isn't it wonderful how our beautiful minds and our feelings are working together and to help us move forward?
Yeah.
And, you being here on this Facebook Live, it's probably for a reason, to expand with us, to grow with us, and, to help you flow forward in life. So this was a beautiful Facebook Live by the Best Life Creation Society, the most uplifting society on this beautiful globe. If you don't know about us, please contact us or watch some more Facebook Lives. Um, Check out our free workshops or check out the membership. We love to have you here. And, well, for now, have a beautiful weekend, a beautiful week. And, oh, yeah, next week we aren't here because then it's the day after Thanksgiving. But in
Right.
2 weeks, we're here. So have a wonderful time. Bye
Thank you,
bye for
everyone.
now.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Love you all.